Previously, in Submachine Legacy, we found a leaf, and we entered a new area. Today, let's break out the loop. Find a leaf, put it on a pedestal. You should find yourself at the lab, or somewhere nearby. Hello guys, what is up? I am Liam121 and welcome back to Flash Fridays, where I give you guys a blast from the past with games from the Flash. As I continue my Let's Play of Submachine Legacy for the PC, a re-edition of the original Submachine series available for Flash. Last time, we broke through the loop. Now let's finish the lab. We got to hype for that. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our content if you're new, and ring that bell to confirm anything on the channel. Last episode on the card, up here. Salem, of course, is back with me.
Yep.
And he's gonna see me through, unfortunately, a re-recorded version, because unfortunately, the original version got scrapped. Unfortunately, I was not recording audio, so therefore, I messed up. So, this is mostly just gonna be a very quick walkthrough, if anything. Or... oh! Actually, hang on. I just realized this is a complete version. Let me start a new version. Also, right here, you notice that... actually, I should mention of this. Submachine Legacy actually has some side things you can do. I just point out this. I plan to do these in the future, just not immediately, if that makes sense.
Does that include Submachine 0 or no?
Not sure. I'll have to find out in due time. So right out here, we got ourselves a hammer on this right side. I just collect it. And right here, we can use this hammer to break our lock. Now, the fact they're actually giving hints to where, like, the items are is kind of a... I mean, I'm not sure how to feel about that. That's definitely... I mean, it's okay, but at the same time, it's just a bit... I feel like it makes it a bit too easy at times. That's just me. Right here, we got ourselves a rubber tube on top.
And more for accessibility.
And another micro stabilizer. We found those back in Submachine to the lighthouse. So we're ready to back again. And you might notice something about this coil. This looks oddly familiar. This actually was back in the lighthouse where we put some sort of orb, an energy core in it. Right there we got ourselves a chimney brush. And earlier on we did see a chimney on top on the roof. That allows us to put the chimney brush in. And voila, we got ourselves a attic key. Head to the left of the entrance and we got ourselves a lab key. 2 keys, both with different purposes you'll see in a moment. We got a shelf that does nothing again. And right here, we got ourselves a gas handle and a door that's locked. Attic, we're in the attic, so we use the attic key. It makes sense to me. And I'll kind of pause for a bit and let you listen to this music. The eeriness of it all, the atmosphere, the fact that you just came out of the loop. I quite like the setting that Machia's made with this particular game. Right guys, there's a panel and no keyboard unfortunately because that's broken on the left. You see on the left side. Go ahead and press this button. Who is this? You're at the lab? And you don't have a keyboard. There's an explanation. You escaped from the loop, haven't you? I only can just press a button. Okay, first of all, you need to get to the transporter room. It's protected by sheet steel grating. It's highly unlikely you'll find any key codes for it at the lab at this point in time. Once you're at the transporter, you'll need coordinates to go to. I have a list of locations here. Printing that for you right now. Like I say, printing that for you now when it's already printed. Get to the transporter, start jumping. Maybe you'll be able to find your way through. Good luck, M. And that's the last message he'll send. In the original lab, you can actually spam this button and he will just put in the messages. But you can actually spam them until no avail. But in this case, we can't. So we got ourselves our coordinates of known locations. This will be important for later. Meanwhile, let's continue on here. We got ourselves a charged coil with electric thing. We're gonna mute that for later. And right here, we got ourselves a lighter. That's pretty cool. Doesn't there's anything else. I am trying to see if there's any extra stuff or any micro stabilizers that we'll possibly miss around here in case. Right here, we got a random beaker on the side here. And a note. At first, we thought there was just one submachine. Then Murtaugh came along and shown us the truth. His ability to create karma portals between locations let him explore more than a third of the net. That took him 32 years. How foolish were we in those early years? Apparently, there are different submachines, and you'll soon realize that truth in this game. Using Murtaugh's technology, we're able to build our own transporters to move between dimensions. We have set up the laboratory. We have reconnaissance exploration teams for submachines. We go on missions into the net, trying to discover new places and structures of this greater puzzle. Murtaugh said once that there is no greater puzzle, no master plan, no one is controlling this thing. But we think otherwise. There must be a purpose for all of things. We just have to find it. I thought all of this was possible, but since Murtaugh deserted us, I'm not so sure anymore. But we found our purpose. We see it clearly. Do you? It's a fun fact that she's with both of us. I actually honestly did not know this note existed. That's one of the few things we missed on our first playthrough. We also have some soap around here though. And right here, we can break this with a hammer. But we have no way to activate that. We'll note that for later. Once again, we have the sink and the toilet that we saw back in Submachine to the Lighthouse. A lot of repetitive stuff, which is kind of cool. Repetitive is nice, as long as it doesn't get overused. And right here, we got a list of items we can find. A data disk, a funnel, which is unique to this version of the lab. Iron trioxide, and a screwdriver. There's also a note here as well. This is a unique note actually to the lab. A machine fluid supply runs out. Here's a recipe for a makeshift fluid. Get these ingredients and boil down the water. Ordinary bath soap, check. Vial of iron trioxide, check. Some mothballs. Uh-oh. Funnel this into the machine. Should work fine. Could you please inform maintenance crew there's a fluid shortage? Thanks, buddy. I don't know who this bunny is. And actually we're missing some mothballs. But where are they? Well, we're actually gonna head back up to the attic. For two reasons. One, that screwdriver we got actually serves a purpose. Right on the left side of the roof. We can get ourselves a valve that is attached here. And down here, where there's a lab coat, we can go check the lab coat and... Hello! There are some mothballs. Or naphthalene. Naphthalene is actually just mothballs, a different name for mothballs. Have you actually used mothballs, Salem?
Yep.
Oh, you actually did. With your shoes, I presume.
Actually, we used to use it in drawers for my sweaters.
Oh.
Some of my sweaters are made of cotton, so we didn't want the moths getting in and trying to eat them.
Nice. So right here, I just put the gas handle up and the rubber tube into this Bunsen burner. I just realized the name of it. We're gonna light this Bunsen burner up and put the beaker. Well, actually, not yet put the beaker because I realized we needed a beaker of water. So.
Yep, we just fill it with water.
With the valve up, let's fill this beaker. And let's head back here. Well, let's do it. Let's make some, not really meth, but let's make some substance, shall we, or fuel. Put the beaker of water. Soap. Iron trioxide. Notice the color has changed. And the and the mothballs. I clearly did not accidentally say a Pokemon just then. We got also acid oxide now, and the valve, or the vial, excuse me, is now being can be used. I'm gonna head back into the bathroom and actually fill this vial with water. You'll see why that serves the purpose in due time. Got ourselves another locked door, but we do have a lab key that allows us through. And right here, got some spilled fuel right here. Apparently there's a fuel sources as we mentioned before.
We have something that rings a bell.
Yeah, there's something that rings a bell right here. Quite literally. You saw this bell back in Submachine 1, the basement. But why is it on itself? We'll have to figure out that later. Do note though that remember there were 4 bells of this kind. Right here though, fuel level too low. Remember how the note says we need to funnel the fuel into here? So we're gonna put the funnel here and put the fuel in. And that allows us to go through. And, hello, there is our transporter. If we click here, you can see we have some sort of thing that allows us to move forward, but we are blocked by grates, so we can't go there. Instead, with the coordinates that Murtaugh gave us, it's time we head on to the sections. First off, 104, the ancient section. And we're now in a different place. Right here, we got some signs of symbols with lines involved and a system that has individual lines. Depending on what the symbol looks like in terms of the lines involved, so this is diagonals and the horizontal line, we can unlock some items. But wait a second, not just any items. Does this tile look familiar?
The 4 triangles.
In Submachine 1, the basement, you're right. Right here we got a horizontal line, so vertical line instead of a horizontal line. That's another tile. Now you may think to yourself, oh, 4 symbols, I assume that means there'll be 4 tiles, right? No. Right here, we have not a tile, but a stone key. We'll note that for later. Also, there used to be a secret down here. It looks like there's no longer. And right here, we got ourselves a knife, another thing that rings a bell, and another symbol with just diagonal lines. That's another stone key. Stone... Oh, they like to call it stone blockade. I like that. And down here, not only do we have another microstabilizer, but 4 panels, 4 tiles. We head to the right, though. This actually is new to this version of the game. Notice the symbol is there as well, but I also notice there is a contrast between the red that's blinking and the white. Not sure what that means. And here we have some blocks that we actually can move around. But as soon as we stop moving, they go back to the original place. Pretty cool. Right there, though, with the stone key and the stone blockade, we can put those in and activate another ladder. Right here, let's use a hammer to break this broken tile.
Hammer time.
And we have ourselves another microstabilizer. Right here, we have another symbol that requires all 4 lines, so let's do that. That's another tile. And up here, another tile that we need that's hung by a string. Let's cut it. And heads back down to get ourselves the last tile. 4 tiles, activating some sort of gadget. That sounds familiar. And that activates some sort of cog. But what did it activate? Well, we head back to the original place, and I love the design, by the way. The fact that the unlockable thing is at the beginning, so it's quite cool. We also have a coil that's empty. And some ladders. That telescope leads to nothing. The other one, we can't see anything. And we have a note. We haven't even started exploring this ancient section, and our coil is already dead. Probably someone forgot to recharge it, but the situation is serious. We don't know the numbers for basement section. The coordinates are back at headquarters, and clearly we can't go back there anymore. We'll try blind jumps as soon as we get a connection, but where will we end up? I simply don't know. So apparently they needed a coil to fuel this torch, which would allow us to see what was through the telescope. But we don't have a coil that's charged. But at least we have the coil. If only there was some way we could charge it. Head back to the transporter. Now I need to note something. If you look at the coordinates of the node locations, you might notice some familiar words. The looping tracks, the basement section, the lighthouse takeouts. Names of previous Submachine games. It looks like we're heading back there. Starting with the looping tracks at 690. We're back in the loop, but a smaller version of the loop because this doesn't really loop on itself. There's no loop involved, it's just 9 rooms.
And this time we have no map wash tells coordinates.
Indeed, indeed. We also have a note here that's very similar to the note we saw back in the loop, the loop that we saw earlier last episode. This is actually the exact same message. We have another O right there. Not too sure what that means. Wait a second. That was a microstabilizer I missed. Oh, that's sneaky though, location. I like that. All right, so we have ourselves this thing that allows us to, well, see different rooms. Now here's the thing. You might have no watch, but if you remember how the watch worked and how the coordinates change with how you move, you can figure this out. For example, 0, -1 was a room, I believe, above the center. And if we go there, we can press this button and activate that switch. Now if we head over to room 1-1-1, there's another one. Basically, figuring out the coordinates, you should know where this is going. Oh wait, hang on, it's already there. Wait, is it? Oh no, it isn't. There we go. Room 10. And find the last room should be 1, -1. And by activating all 4 switches, we're gonna get ourselves some sort of orb. Not the moon pearl it is, that's a different orb. Now let's head back. Now that we're done with the looping traps, let's head over to the basement section. And this is where the lore of Submachine is amplified with how the game is designed. If we head back to the basement section, you might notice something. This is a very different basement to the one that we saw back in Submachine 1, the basement, the episode where I started out the playthrough. Murtaugh mentioned that there are different submachines in this universe, and it took him 32 years to find that out. The fact that it's a different basement, the fact that the different submachines, the lore is interconnected to itself, and it's very cool to see that lore pretty much amplified right here. Right here, though, there's a unique room.
And the smash coil is a nice touch as well.
Oh yeah, the smash coil is a nice touch too. Now right here, this is a unique room here, and I notice here this thing, IIO, III. I'm gonna have to note that for later. And right here, we have some sort of electrical, power system, but there's nothing here to power it. And we saw that smash coil earlier. Our coil is broken, and we don't have a replacement. It's useless. It's so useless. All that struggle with those damn machines. Is there even some kind of normal world outside this endless mess? Over and over again, no beginning nor end. What was his name? That man with one arm? I forgot even that. I just give up. I don't care anymore. Apparently someone got frustrated in here and pretty much went to his doom. With that coil, however, we need some way to charge it. And hello, we got ourselves a charging port. We can now charge that coil that is not broken. And power up this system, baby. Quite cool, honestly, as I go through this, that a lot of the game is very interconnected to one another. Submachine 4 was the celebration of the previous Submachine games, honestly, in my opinion. It really, it showed that repetitiveness can be a good thing. And I really like that. Also, that's another micro-stabilizer I missed. Now right here, though, even though we fueled both sides, I'm gonna fuel the the coil one more time, and you'll see why in a moment. Right here, though, there's one more switch you have to hit, and that allows us to activate a laser. Right here, though, we have some sort of cool picture with, a gauge right here that looks very familiar if you play Submachine 1. That order of, in terms of the gauges, is the exact same as if you played Submachine 1. Pretty cool, eh? Right here, though, we have some sort of holding device that we can place an item on. In this case, the data disk. If we head to the right, though, we can see they have some sort of breakage into the basement, and a note. Murtaugh came by today. He said that since we cannot charge the laser to break the orb, he's returning it to its original position. Just great. Besides that, we got a message from the Ancient Section's exploration team 2 days ago. I can't tell why, but they started blind jumping and found new magic coordinates. 551, some kind of brick room or something. Like if it mattered at all. We won't see them again anyway. We see that we have a symbol of the orb down here on this pedestal. So let's put the orb down there. The orb will break. And reveal a chest key. That chest key will be important for later. Now, the message apparently mentioned about the coordinates 551. Let's head there, shall we? And this music should sound very familiar, and the atmosphere as well. We're back in a section of the lighthouse. And a pink note. I'm stuck, please help. I got all the way to portal room in the lab, then found the coil in the ancient section, but I don't know what to do next. I saw that people are leaving notes here behind them, so if anyone can help me. I'm so confused. Every time I find some item, I have to wander around submachines looking where to put it. I'm so tired right now. Please help. Sunshine_bunnygirl_17. Actually, Salem, you could help me with this. Can you search up the username on the Google, please?
I'm looking up.
Thank you. As I continue on with the submachine, I'm gonna deactivate this, and that stops the flow of some sort of particles right here.
I think it's just yeah, I think it's just he's just messing with people apparently.
Ooh, so it's a random name?
Yep.
Interesting. Anyways, lighthouse digouts time. 4, 6, 2. And right here, you see that part of that the flow that we saw earlier, we stopped it, and now we can interact with this thing. And here's another lock we can hit this hammer on. That reveals a turbine. We're gonna need that turbine for later. Also, is there anything of note? No, not here. Not here either. Nope. I don't see anything yet. There's a note. Have you noticed that you've never found any signs of human presence in the submachines? No matter which ones. But there are at least 4 teams wandering around the vast net of the submachine. There are probably other people too. What are the odds of never finding anyone here? But on the other hand, what are the odds of finding alien life forms in the universe? That's actually very true. On the left side here, there's nothing around here except this sort of thing. I'm not sure what that is about again. And right here, that pedestal looks very familiar. Back in Submachine 1, the basement, there were 4 bells that activated several of these blocks. When all 4 blocks were raised, this panel opens. 2 bells were found. 2 still left to go. I'm gonna head back here later. But now we're done with the lighthouse digouts. So our next place of note is the tomb trap. Ooh. No clues. No clues. Wait. What was I doing here? There's nothing to interact in this place. This is just one room. Although there's something cheeky inscripted on the right side. This code right here. Now, the code is supposed to say 043. In fact, that clue says it so. But here's the thing. Murtaugh, in my opinion, had to add this clue because technically the code is incorrect. If we're going by the number of sides in its shape, a circle has 1 universal side. So the code should have been 143 and not 043. So that is my guess as to why he had to add that into the mix.
Unless the circle is just a 0.
Yeah, but considering the fact they were talking about sides, doesn't really make sense to be 0 on the left side. Now we're in 043 and ooh, some sort of shield protecting this. Head to the left though. We found ourselves our 3rd bell and another note. Need water. Must find water. Not much. 1 drop would be enough. Just 1 drop of water. All I see is sand. 32 chambers filled with sand. Write down the coordinates, he said. Wish I had done that. I need water. Just a drop. Well, just a drop of water, you say? The shield is gone, and the scepter is ours. Nothing around here though, that looks like. Now let's head to the final location, which was coordinates 800, and that is the ship. And it's dark. There's a hint of a lamp here. Let's light this lamp. And right off the gate, you can look through the windows and see there's some sort of area out there. Interesting. Some sort of electrical fuse that was meant to be put out, but apparently no cigar. Oh, look at that, Salem. Oh, it's
wow,
cool.
That's a pretty view.
That's beautiful. I mean, it is a ship after all. Crew expendable. Where did I hear that? Did it come from the company or someone even higher? Never mind. In the meantime, we tried almost every possible way of unlocking that damn ladder. This lock just won't open. The last attempt is to blow this up. We're setting up wires right now, and if we're lucky, someone of us will survive and finally see what's on the upper deck of the ship. However, I'm going to write another note just after the explosion. If we're still be alive, that is. If we're still alive, that is, eh? There's some sort of explosion that happened. The ladder did not go down, and there's no sense of life around here. Right here, though, we get ourselves the final bell, and that actually will prompt me to go back to the lighthouse digouts at 264 before we can progress on. Oh, wait. Status connection on the... Oh, wait, that's the wrong code. That's because it's 462, excuse me. Oh, that's cool. I guess I get to see what happens if you put the wrong coordinates. Hello, another microstabilizer. That's number 6. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know how many microstabilizers there are in each of the submachines. And if I'm not mistaken, they are not required to finish the game. So the fact that I have them is interesting, and the fact that that resets with every submachine game you go to is also interesting. Right here, though, I can see some screws we can unlock. And that unlocks not only another microstabilizer, but some sort of wires that we can cut with a knife. Good thing there's no red wire, blue wire shenanigans here. There's one more look at the outside of the ship, which looks beautiful, I have to point out. And right here, there's another lamp. And let's see over here. Some sort of switch you can't press, but we go up. One more lamp up here onto the top left, and something that's missing a turbine. Head down here, hit the switch. There's a chest key that we have had earlier. We can unlock the chest and reveal ourselves a golden arm. Now, at this point, you may think to yourself, okay, it looks as though I finished the ship. I got through every single coordinate that the game has. What next? Well, here's the thing. Back in the ancient section, which is where I'm going to, you might remember...
They complain about not having a charge coil.
Yeah, also I just realized I forgot to do one more thing. Because I want to go back to the lab, and with that charge coil I got earlier, we can go out here and put the charge coil in this socket. And that reveals another microstabilizer. Let's head... However, we can collect the charge coil back, because we actually need it to reveal one last thing. Head back to the ancient section and go up. Remember how they say they needed the coil? We have it now. Light this baby up and look through the telescope. There's some sort of code on the right side. 452. Let's head there, shall we? And right here, we got some debris that's floating around randomly. And hello, a golden statue. Missing a golden arm and a golden scepter. And with that, that is it for Submachine 4, the lab. Next time on Submachine Legacy, it's time to get into the root of things with Submachine 5, the root. Oh, and before I leave, remember how Matyuk said that there are different submachines in the universe? What if the original Submachine series on Flash was one submachine, and we are in a totally different submachine?